So seated practice is such a great thing to get into. It's an important part of both Antonia and Maya's practice, and something that we encourage our students and friends and family to get into. It's such a simple thing to do with many physical benefits and many benefits for your mental health. Just taking time out to kind of, become still, to let the mind calm down, let the nervous system calm down. It's like a brilliant antithesis to all of the busyness of our modern life that we all kind of know and experience, right? It's super cool. You got to get into it. It's excellent. Just like learning anything else, it's a step-by-step process. And the first step probably is the most important step. And that step is just learning to get into a decent seated position and how to maintain it and, become still, to rest your mind on your body, on your posture, on your body position. It's so simple, but it's not easy. We're not normally still. We adjust our bodies all the time, and we're usually busy or distracted looking at stuff, and our attention's, outside all the time. And when we do quiet sitting, that's what we're working on today, quiet sitting, we bring our attention inside, onto our body, onto maintaining our posture, and just giving our whole body-mind complex a chance to calm down and become still. Once you get into it, it's brilliant. Once you get a taste for it, you really want to do it. To begin with, there are some common challenges that everyone faces. So the first thing we want to work on, and the first thing you want to practice for a long time really, is just getting into a decent seated position and maintaining it and being still. So there are a few points we're going to look at. The first thing is that you want to sit on something like a yoga block, something like that, something just to lift the hips up a little bit so they're a bit higher than the knees. And you can just buy these online, no worries there. So when you're sitting down, you want to make sure that your sit bones are kind of nice and even on your yoga block, or you can use a couple of cushions or something like that. So your sit bones are nice and kind of even, and both feet are on the floor. So my knees are kind of flat on the ground like this, both feet are on the floor. Okay. If you're, let's say, not very flexible, your body's not very open, then you don't really need to worry about seated practice. It's much more beneficial just to concentrate on opening your body. Opening the body is so important. It's one of the simple things that people miss when they're doing other training, or they're into any kind of training really. And opening the body is something that you really need to get into. So if you can't sit on the floor like this, just get into doing opening the body. There are some articles and some videos on our website that you can check out for that. So both feet on the floor, knees on the ground. And we want to get the torso and the spine nice and upright. You don't want to kind of like hold yourself really stiff, okay, like on a militant kind of posture. You want to be nice and upright with the spine like long, nice and long and balanced. You have to watch out for either kind of like overextending, like having the chest sticking out. You don't really want to do that. And then you also have to watch out for kind of like collapsing and slumping. These are things that everybody tends to do, one or the other, maybe both, I don't know, So we don't want to do either of those. We want to keep the spine balanced, nice and open. It's so good for your spine. That's all a part of it, learning how to keep the postural conditions going. So we keep the spine nice and upright with the head balanced on top. And what we want to do really is open the back of the neck. So usually we want to kind of just tuck in the chin a little bit. And if you feel the back of your neck, the back of the neck should now be like much more open, nice and open, and kind of lengthened a little bit. A bit like what we do in our classes when we talk about suspending the head. It's a bit like that. So the head nicely balanced on top. You're going to rest the hands on the knees like this and think, open the shoulders. So what that means is really just getting the shoulder blades to slide a little bit down and back. So I don't want my shoulders to be forwards, but neither do I want to kind of like pull them back. So really we want the shoulders to be on the side of the body. And what I normally say is you want them to be like soft and wide. Okay, so hands resting on the knees, shoulders soft and wide. Okay, and this shape's lovely. Once you get into it, it's brilliant. So you don't want the shape to kind of collapse and you don't want to hold it too tight. We're looking for a balance between kind of, keeping the shape and relaxing all the flesh on the skeleton at the same time. So nice and open, head balanced on top. Okay. We're going to have the mouth closed so that you breathe through your nose. Okay. Head balanced on top. And this is your basic position, really. When you're actually practicing, you want to close the eyes. I often like to say that you kind of relax the eyelids as if the eyelids are heavy. Let the eyelids go. You don't want to kind of like, screw up your face or kind of force the eyes shut. You want to relax the eyelids closed. So this is it. This is what we're going to practice. And it's really funny that something so simple is actually quite difficult, because let's say if we're going to start off sitting for something like 5 minutes, and the idea is that you don't move, you don't adjust. We're always adjusting and moving in our day-to-day life, aren't we? Always, even when we sleep, we're kind of like, without even realizing it, our body changes position to become more comfortable. So it's an unusual thing to do if you're not used to it. Yeah, sitting on the floor, keeping those postural conditions, and maintaining them, not moving and not adjusting. So you want to start off with something like 5 minutes. So it's just sitting, paying attention to all those points that I've outlined about the body position. Eyes closed, just nice, relaxed breath. Get your position sorted out first, and you can set a little timer, let's say for 5 minutes to begin with, and then just work on maintaining those conditions. You don't need to do anything special, don't need to do any special breathing. So don't do that, just breathe normally, just breathe naturally, comfortably. And we're looking to keep our posture, keep that skeletal alignment going on, but relax the soft tissues on the skeleton as much as possible. What you'll probably find is, what most people find is that quite quickly you become uncomfortable. And the common areas of discomfort are like the knees, hips, and the back. And that's all a part of the training. Learning how to not run away from discomfort in the body, not having to immediately change because the body's a little bit uncomfortable. And as I said before, a lot of what we do in our classes, Antonio and I, are opening exercises to open the body and build our the body structure, build the posture, so that we can stay comfortable on the inside. So you need to get into that really, it will help loads. But also just doing the seated practice is going to help your body hugely, much more than people think. People usually think with seated practice, people think all kinds of strange things, but you're just like trying not to think, or you want to get into a trance or something. It's nothing like that. It's much more, much simpler, much more natural. Really, really useful practice actually. So we don't want to run away from sensation. We're learning to build our tolerance and our patience and our willpower, that we're going to just stay there. And then gradually over time, you build up the amount of time you spend sitting, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You can just take your time. There's no rush. These first steps are so important. You don't want to kind of like rush ahead to do something else. This is the practice, just learning to bring your attention inside, into your body, just being with your own mind and body, really. It doesn't get more fundamental than that, really, does it? So you gradually build up the time. And something else you can do, which is really cool, like in our living room, we're in our living room now, we don't really have any chairs. We've just got lots of cushions and one beanbag. But we always sit on the floor. You know, if we're watching TV or just hanging out, watching a movie or something, Antonia and I, and the kids as well, usually, you know, we just sit on the floor. We sit cross-legged, or we sit like this. And even though we're not, you know, doing our CE practice or, you know, doing meditation, we're you know, you're still training your body, your posture to be comfortable and balanced and nicely lined up. So it's such a massive bonus. It's really, really good for your body. And I always find it funny, you know, when friends and stuff come around and, you know, we sit on the floor. It shouldn't be a difficult thing, really, should it? But it is. So these are all the things that we're working on. Yeah, opening the body, bringing our attention inside to maintain a nice, balanced, open posture, allowing the mind and the nervous system to relax. As I said before, once you get into it, it's brilliant. You'll want to keep doing it. It's excellent. But to begin with, it's tough. But learning anything worthwhile is difficult, isn't it? If you could just learn something straight away, it probably wouldn't be that worthwhile. So I strongly recommend you get into it. It's a really cool thing to do. And you'll find that the benefits and the skills you learn just from sitting still gradually seep out into all the other areas of your life in such a beneficial way. It's really, really cool. So get into it, guys, and enjoy.